things, again, under the assumption that they care about protecting women as pro-choicers in the first place. Whenever their entire movement is basically telling women, hey, you are worth, fighting for the actual resources that you deserve. And we don't care about all of the studies that say that this actually is worse for your mental health. We're just going to stand on the backs of women, stand on the backs of victims specifically, and we're going to sit here and act stupid and show how much we don't care about them and encourage them to give up. That's the entire movement of pro-choice. Literally.
Before dipshit, whatever his name was, Rim Job or something, that came in here, if they don't have money, let's go about this. If I lose my job tomorrow, I have a mortgage to pay. We are a 2-career working household, 2 full-time jobs, and I have overtime hours of 15 plus hours a week, right? If I were to lose my job, I have to find another job. I can't just tell my kids, hey, sorry, you suck, move out. I'm tired of feeding you. I don't understand why this. No, you suck, move out, I'm tired of feeding you.
How is he not dead?
Moving here. Enemy mark. Moving to my mark.
Friendly machine deployed.
Take it away. So anyway,
We're planting at Alpha.
women are so weak and we can't get jobs, and if we lose our job, we gotta abort our kids, and kids are just a thing.
Moving here.
You've won that round. Get ready for the next one. Switching sides.
I needed that.
Search and destroy. Hostiles are after the objective. Defend them.
You get flash from burping, like, excuse me?
Hostile look. Moving.
They can't discern burpings from actual insults and actual break-ins and TOS.
Enemy here. Moving here.
What?
Search and destroy.
TikTok is getting worse and worse with just how
Don't let
they
the enemy level the
handle
objective.
stuff.
Keep them secure.
TikTok is horrible when it comes to stuff like this,
To
man.
my mark.
So God, for 5 minutes and 34 total views. That just tells you right there that most of the people are associated within our general communities, like taking a look at this. So it's not like TikTok is even sending this out to a bunch of people right now. It's like they're being really, really slow in how they push this out. They're being really, really slow. That's quite annoying.
1 minute remaining.
This is how TikTok is.
You've won that round. Get ready for the next one. Switching sides.
It's really a mystery attempting to crack the code of this
Search and
TikTok
destroy.
algorithm. It's very much mysterious.
Detonate the target objectives, but expected friendly UAV online.
I'm not gonna stop until I crack the code.
Friendly UAV on station.
I'm just gonna have to keep on grinding.
Moving here.
TikTok ain't gonna beat me. I'm gonna figure out this algorithm, man. Really learn to use it to my advantage.
have any social security. Because they don't belong here. They don't have any. They're not going to work. What does he say? Then we get to actually say that's. What does he say?
And destroy.
Can be that other person.
Plant a charge on the target and level
Interviewing
it.
pussy. You know you pussy.
Isn't she cute?
Friendly SAE on
That's
the way.
how many people are watching in the room right now. I'm talking about the amount of people going through the room system live is hard. That's what TikTok says is going on. TikTok literally counts the amount of people who come in and out the room. The number you see at the top right are the total amount of people viewing right now.
You've secured the device. Setting device on Alpha. Stand by. Bomb planted. Set containment. Not picking up any more enemy movement. Damn good job. The mission is complete. Good work.
Makes you wonder if even TikTok sends this out to the total people who follow your account, because I have over 6,000 followers on this account. There is no reason in the world why I shouldn't have at least 100 plus viewers a year. Give the amount of followers I have on this account. I don't understand how TikTok works with this type of stuff. 6,000 organic followers and only 9 people in here. I mean, at minimum, I should have 50 to 100, I think, at minimum. That's crazy work. So 10 minutes now, we've been live 55 total viewers. 55. And if that pattern continues, then we're only going to get like what? We're only going to get like 300 people within an hour? That's pitiful. 300 roughly plus total viewers in an hour if this pattern continues. I mean, I'll take that over to 0, but that's freaking terrible.
Destroy. Defend our objective, soldier.
Tony Turner, what's up, right there? Well, hey, I'm going to control TikTok's algorithms, how they move and how they push this.
I don't know why he meleeed.
It ain't my fault, man.
You're trying to shoot in melees.
All I know is when I came back, okay?
Remaining. Enemy planted at Alpha. Bomb defused. You've won that round. Get ready for the next one. Search and destroy. Secure our objectives.
Okay.
Enemy.
How does that not kill him?
Moving this way. This one has a riot shield.
Movement!
Final minute.
Flanking here.
Round secure. On to the next.
Moving this way.
Switching sides. Search and destroy. Place a charge on your target and level it. You secured the device.
Flanking here.
Remaining. We lost that round. Prepare for the next one. Search and destroy. Plant the charge and detonate the objective. You've got the bomb. Final minute. The round is lost. Focus on the next one. Defend our objective, soldier.
How is that not a kill?
Enemy bomb at Alpha. We lost that round. Prepare for the next one. Search and destroy. Secure our objectives.
I don't know how that doesn't kill you, so a grenade launcher is pretty much useless.
The round is lost. Focus on the next one. Pushing side. Search and destroy. Place a charge on your target and level it.
Careful, area's hot.
You secured the device.
Enemy visual.
One minute remaining.
Alright.
Seconds remain. We lost that round. Prepare for the next one. Search and destroy. Plant the charge and detonate the objective. You've got the bomb. Mastermind detected. Hostile online. Mission failed. Return to base.
This gun sucks. Because everybody has, I believe, flakjack. I don't know.
Search and destroy. 141, plant a charge on the target at Beverly. We lost that round. Prepare for the next one. Search and destroy. Move in and detonate the target. You've won that round. Get ready for the next one. Switching sides. Search and destroy. Set up security around the objectives. Friendly UAV online. next one. Search and destroy. Keep the enemy off the objective. For the next one. Switching sides. Search and destroy. 141. Plant a charge on the target and level it. You've secured the device.
Move it!
The round is lost. Focus on the next one. Search and destroy. Move in and detonate the target.
Sit here, tell stupid jokes all day so that you could, like,
You've got the bomb.
whatever. It doesn't matter. You know? Fine.
We lost that round. Prepare for the next one.
This is to do with you know, there's a point.
Switching sides. Search and destroy. Set up security around the objective. Control UAV in the area.
What? He should at least be dead.
Mission failed. Return to base.
I have a 41-year-old daughter, 33-year-old son. It's like a rant now. I would not want to be you guys. You guys are making a lot of money doing what you do. I appreciate it. I totally do. I think that's smart right there because you're already working smarter than people. I would not want to go through what you guys are going through right now. You guys are making a good living doing what you're doing. You just want to get rich. You just want to get motion. That's what I'm doing.
So again, when you say ought not do, right?
Understand that part.
The expulsion of any fetus from the womb would be a birth.
Yes. Actually, some crazy stats on that. You know, if you were to rule out like complications, you know, stuff like that, like say ectopic, you know, the other complications like that, just like possible bleed outs and stuff like that in birth, it's only like 700 worldwide yearly. But abortion is 100K yearly.
Wait, around the world it's way 73 million.
No, I'm talking about the amount. The amount is like 73 million. Yeah. I'm talking about lives lost, adult women lives lost.
Oh, from abortion? Wait, from abortion.
Yeah, I'm talking directly about adult women lives lost. It's 700 just giving birth. It's 7K from ectopic. And then it's 100K from abortion.
Where do you get those stats? I haven't seen any of those.
You have to dig. If you don't put it directly, like you want direct stats worldwide yearly, it'll give you a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, that's like, well, even if I'm using direct in my searches, I still have trouble finding.
You have to dig. Like even I to get those stats, I have to dig. Like I have to not take surface level bullshit.
Even some of the basic stuff that I used to be able to search no problem, like a year or 2 years ago, I can't find anymore.
No, they are getting better at burying it. They really are. Like if you look up like the percentages of like say male violence, right? They'll give you percentages, always percentages. It's like 90 something bullshit, 90 something bullshit, 90% whatever. But if you ask them for direct numbers, like I do not want percentages, I want numbers. It's like a million that are crimes that are associated with men, even just associating, just involving men. There are 168.34 million. There we go. So, I mean, like just that kind of thing. Like if you just go off based off the percentage and you take that service level percentage that the internet's giving you, it can sound horrible. It can sound like the whole world is just the worst thing ever. But if you have to break it down to actual raw numbers and then compare it per capita, compare it per, like you have to really dig. And it's annoying, but you do. You have to.
Exactly. And they're getting really, like as you said, they're getting really good at burying stuff. Even the NIH, they're doing it with. Like if you try to go ahead and look up like a more generalized search about abortion, they're going to actually tell you in the NIH about how abortions are positive. But I'm literally sitting here right now because I had to dig to find this again because I accidentally deleted it. There is a page about the mental health.
The enemy's defused our bomb.
After the abortions and whatnot, and it literally goes into how 60% of women feel coerced or feel like the abortion went against their personal beliefs, and the fact that they would have carried to long term if they had not physical but emotional support.
You want to know another really interesting stat? Because a lot of women will be like, they'll be like, oh, the unalivings from ectopic / ABs, all of this, it's just from poor care. It's poor care. It's poor care. It's always poor care. It's just untrained surgeons. That's all it is. Well, that's weird. All ectopic pregnancies and all abortions all happen in the same place in the world. They're all happening in developing countries, third world countries, places you'd think more medical is, but then how is ectopic only 7K yearly worldwide? Abortion's 100K.
Exactly. Okay, we got another trick to dig, like a really fast method. For high safe, because you were talking about having the troubles. If you find like a credible source, save that credible source until you find your next one, and then once you find one, put them side by side, and you will start to see a whole story unravel.
But here's the thing, like, when I look for sources, I don't close my tabs in my phone, like I leave them open. They just randomly disappear, and then I can't find them.
That happened to me actually recently. I had like over 600. I had like over 600 tabs and they all closed. Yeah, that happens on the iPhone.
I usually have my that might be like a phone issue where your phone maybe has like its RAM is getting so full that it just force closes certain.
No, mine was.
For me, and the weirdest part is it's only my research that I lose.
Wow, I lost everything. Because I had a lot of like websites saved up for like clothing. They all shut down. The thing's really an iPhone thing. I don't know what's going on.
I don't have an iPhone. I have an Android.
Oh.
I would never use an iPhone.
Yeah, I switched.
I started on Android, went to iPhone, went back to Android.
Yeah, I should probably do that. I should probably go back.
iPhone has a major security risk right now.
Oh, really?
Of course, I mean, W Android, but iPhone's like the Legos of like it seems like the most easy put together.
Because iPhones are made for technologically impaired. Like, it's for people who aren't really that tech savvy. Androids are built for people who know what they're doing.
I thought it was vice versa, honestly.
I'm not saying that to insult anybody. I promise you.
I thought it was vice versa, honestly.
No, Androids are sophisticated.
I love my Samsung Galaxy.
Yeah, like iPhones are kind of like consoles. If you look at it that way, and Androids are a lot more like PC, where you can fine tune, break down, like deeper.
True. I don't know if they do it with the 25, because that one's definitely newer. But if you go into your phone and like your keyboard, and you do *#0 *#, you'll get a bunch of weird, cool options. It's just fun.
We can talk about Scream 7 instead.
Speaking on the AI thing, though, dude, oh my god, have you tested AI about abortion and how much it lies to you?
Which one? I'm talking to ChatGPT, Grok, and
ChatGPT works. Ask it straight up. Ask it if abortion's unalive more than a topic, and it's going to tell you no. And then you'd be like, "But the numbers are showing me that a topic only takes 7K lives." And you'd be like, "Well, okay, well, these three," and they'll start going off stuff like, "Abortion take 100K lives." Like, that's factual. That actually happens. Okay, then abortion's unalive more, and it's like, no, that's not true. It's like, well, you were telling me the numbers.
It's almost as if. It's almost as if.
ChatGPT is only good for one thing, and it's making clown edits of pro-choicers. That's all it's good for.
I use AI for like parody for videos.
It has lots. Dude, I got like hundreds at this point. Hold on.
I don't know what's talking about. I see them and I start laughing.
This is one of my new ones from today.
Jake, your comment is literally engagement. Hey, what are you talking about?
I think I lost my email. How do you lose a galaxy? A morning gecko? They're very small. I don't know. I have 3 pussies. I don't have geckos.
Huh?
You want to see what I mean?
No.
I was expecting you to end that with what you started the sentence with.
I'm sorry, Riley. I'm talking to people online. I'll be right back, guys.
I did not hear nobody talking to you, buddy.
Oh, it's just a cat. Oh, it's just a cat.
Yes.
His girlfriend died easier,
Well, wife, yeah, she called me to the side. It's like, yeah.
And look, I have this one too. This is my other pussy.
How many are there?
I love that pussy.
Wait,
Look at the different colors.
the other one is around here somewhere, but he's hiding from the girls probably.
I love how out of context, like video games or anything online can be.
What are
Yeah.
your pussy's names?
See, this is what I have.
What is that? A garden?
Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, miss. We're not talking about reptiles. We're talking about pussy.
I am a little bit of a nerd. I'm not gonna lie. So, my boy, his name is Tyrion. My middle fat cat, her name is technically Daenerys, but I call her Pit because it just suits her better. She's a big fat kid. And the little colorful one, her name's Arya.
Fucking W cat names. Yes, mine's Luke Skywalker.
Wait, is it? So wait, aren't those names from?
Is cerebral palsy, but I name my small Paul.
So are those names like from? Are those names like from Lord of the Rings or something?
It's not spelled the same. It's fine, okay?
I'll just call him Surrey.
They planted at Bravo.
Well, the Paul is P-A-W. So that was...
Wait, are those names like from Lord of the Rings or something? I can't remember. Oh, that show.
I am a serious Lord of the Rings nerd. Y'all want to see?
What else we have to show us now?
We lost that round. I love it. Prepare for the next one.
I'm at Aragon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was filming Skewer Town and fucking...
Those better be the extended.
Oh, that's cool. We should have a movie night.
Have the extended.
Well, that's just one of my sets. Hold on, you want to see the really expensive set?
By all means.
Set. Yeah. This isn't my only the only Lord of the Rings.
This is like dirty talk for nerds.
Yeah, I know, right?
I used to know how to ask that.
Alright, we have to put me on the big screen so everybody can see this. Here. Oh, there we go.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
Gorgeous. Oh, that's gorgeous.
How many movies are there? Like 6 of them?
Yes. You have this.
Those are the books, though.
Oh, we have an op. We might have an op.
It's all the movies.
Op? That's the movies, not the books.
Yeah, all the movies. That's all the Peter Jackson movies.
Hello?
Technically. And then
Those are the extended ones.
My ass thought we were...
Hey guys, we have 2 ops, I think.
1 minute remaining.
No,
Nobody talking about Flash. You guys hear me?
Dude, shut pattern. Yeah,
We cannot hear you now.
Oh, never mind.
The round is lost. Focus on the next one.
Okay, I'm kidding.
No, I'm a pro-life.
Oh, he's not talking that.
No, cool. Well, we're just talking about Lord of the Rings because we definitely established that unaliving
Yeah.
wrong.
You hear about
Search and destroy.
Let's talk about this Apex below me.
Place the charges on the target and destroy it.
I used to be.
Yeah, how much do you play the game?
Yo, if y'all kick me up real quick, can you kick me up so I can get up?
Yeah.
why the fuck did you record
Because I thought you guys were pro.
Okay.
Philosophy too much.
Wait, but we're talking about ethics, right?
Okay, so I'm gonna finish my sentence. I don't really debate philosophy a lot. I mostly stick to pragmatics, so I apologize if my philosophical arguments are
Prepare for the next one.
Wait, okay, just to be clear, so when you're talking about something like abortion, which is something that it has to do with applied ethics, we're talking about if it's wrong to get an abortion, and when we're talking about what's right or wrong, that's obviously going to be in the domain of philosophy, given that ethics... Wait, that is what we're talking about. You were giving an argument for why abortion is wrong, and the argument you gave was invalid.
No, that's incorrect. So
What is that? How is that?
The argument that I'm making right now is not that abortion is wrong. The argument that I'm making right now is that abortion is not a right.
No. Okay, look, you were making the argument that an abortion is ethically wrong, correct?
No.
Wait, so you were giving an argument based off of legality?
No.
Okay, so if it's not legality, what is it?
That's part of it. So look, all I'm saying is that abortion is not a right. this would apply both legally and morally.
Okay, so you see how you just said it would be not a right morally?
Yeah, so just because it's not a right doesn't automatically mean it's wrong.
Okay, so when we say...
Yeah,
that's fine, but when we talk about...
That doesn't mean it's wrong for me to do so.
Yeah, that's okay, look, when you say it's not a right legally, and it's not a right morally, okay, when we're talking about morality, or how something is morally, then we're talking about philosophy. If that's just necessarily entailed, that's confused if it's not.
Yeah, for sure, I understand that. And again, philosophical arguments are the best.
Okay, so okay, do you think, let's just do it like this.
That's the problem at the moment.
Okay, that's fine. I can just ask you like this. Do you think abortion's wrong?
I do, but that's not what I'm discussing right now.
Okay, so you don't think abortion's wrong?
I do think abortion is wrong. Okay, great. It's not the argument that I'm making. I'm not going to keep saying the same thing over again. It is not a right.
Okay, so when you say
legally where?
Yeah, when you say legally it's not a right, there's obviously states that allow for abortion. Given that legality is the type of thing that human beings create, it obviously is legally a right for to get an abortion. So that's just false when you say it's legally not a right.
Wait, just out of curiosity, Just out of curiosity, is everything that we're allowed to do legally a right?
Yeah.
So a right is just for me to go to the gas station and buy the
okay, that's a different question. Yeah, I'll just answer the confusion. So for a legal right is the type of thing we create. You can have a legal right for literally anything. That doesn't mean the morality of it. Look, you're collapsing legality to whether or not you should or should not do something. When we were talking about the morality point, you said,
brother, you're the one that pivoted from morality to legality. We were talking.
Wait, you wanted to talk about legality? What?
Not either.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the morality of it or the legality of it?
It's up to you. But
okay, we can talk about the morality of it. Do you think abortion's wrong? Yes or no?
Yeah, but that's
why is abortion wrong?
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not getting rage baited tonight. I'm already in a shitty
It's never medically necessary. Yes, there are times that it is medically necessary. What do you mean by that's just...
Second that, because
yeah, okay. Let me use Matrix real quick, and then Rosa, I'll answer your questions.
25.
And are you pro-life or pro-choice? I'm asking him questions. Sorry, Lawful, go ahead and unmute. Are you pro-life or pro-choice?
Like that. I'm 25 years old, and I am pro-choice personally.
I gotcha. Yeah, Austin, that's just because you're down in the comments, not on the panel. There's a slight delay in moderator actions unless you're on the panel, because you're not technically connected to the server. Anyways, Purple, can I get your age, please?
Probably old enough to be your mom, so don't be rude, but I'm not telling nobody my age, but I'm over 21.
Can I get your age, please?
No. But you can drop me if you don't want.
Have a good rest of your night.
Yeah, thank you.
Marcus, can I get your age, please?
I'm 19.
Moving.
What year were you born?
19. I was born 2006, dude.
Movement here. That's the last.
I'm 19. I'm born in.
You have a good rest of your night. So just so everyone's fully aware, right, you have to be 18 or older to be on the panel here. And the reason I ask if someone says they're 18 or 19 or 20, the reason I ask the year and month that they were born is because some people come up here and they say they're 18, and then they'll say some dumb shit like, I was born in 2006, and I was born in February, which would make them 19, right? So the reason I ask that is to make sure people are actually truthful about their age. Obviously, someone could be lying about their age and actually get the month and year right, but some people don't, and that helps me catch people that are not of age. Anyways, Rosa, you're asking about how it's never definitely medically necessary in some situations. Before we get too deep into that, I want to make sure you understand the argument that's being made. So, what do you think is medically necessary?
Sending in a team. You've won that round.
If I'm asking Rosa.
Okay.
Well, the way that you're phrasing it is that there's never a medical need to have an abortion.
Okay, yeah, what does medically necessary
Secure our
mean?
objectives. Do not let your guard down.
What I just stated.
No, you just paraphrased my argument.
Just asking for like an example.
Yeah, lawful. What do you think medically necessary means?
Where the risk of pregnancy actively involves the risk of life to the mother, in which case the active act of carrying out pregnancy would represent not just the risk of one life, but the risk of two lives. At which point, you are creating a moral maths dilemma.
Okay, so I'll hold y'all's hand here. So necessary, like unless we specify like necessary for happiness or something like that, that just means something you need in order to survive. So like food is necessary, water is necessary, blah blah blah. When we talk about medically necessary, we're just talking about medical treatments or procedures that you must have in order to survive. Okay. So that's all that means. Now the second definition I want to go with is abortion, because that's what the conversation's about. So, Rosa, we're lawful. It's up to you guys, honestly. What do you think an abortion is?
An abortion is the termination of a fetus. By definition. Ultimately, what it means is the termination of essentially into being a risk to human life. The ultimate idea is, what do we accept as being the acceptable risk to humanity?
This is not true because it's a human no matter what.
Get ready for the next one.
You haven't been age checked yet. I'll get you age checked right after we finish talking about it.
Switching sides.
For a couple of reasons. One of them being that it is.
Place the charges on the target and destroy it.
It's used by pretty much every single state, albeit paraphrased slightly in the state laws, but the same point still comes across.
Wonderful. My question to you is this. My question to you.
Let me finish going over the definition real quick.
Okay.
This is kind of important. It's going to be a procedure intended to terminate a suspected or known intrauterine pregnancy and that does not result in a live birth. So there are 3 key points here. It needs to end the pregnancy. It needs to be an intrauterine pregnancy. And it needs to kill the fetus. And when it says does not result in a live birth, that by itself doesn't necessarily mean kill the fetus, I know. But it goes on to exclude every form of non-live birth that doesn't involve directly killing the fetus. This definition excludes management of intrauterine fetal death.
The mission is complete. Good work.
Presents an active and present danger to the mother, the person who could go on to contribute. Yeah. There are many pregnancies which you.
I agree. There's make this like super duper super simple. So we've already gone over the two super important definitions, right? Let's go over all the medical conditions that pro-choicers like to bring up. Right? They like to go on Google, and you can verify this yourself by just looking at the comments, by the way. They like to go on Google, they like to look up something along the lines of medical conditions that necessitate abortion. They might word it slightly differently than that. But if you go on Google and look that up right now, medical conditions that necessitate abortion, you're going to see the Google AI response. And it's going to say all the exact same shit that all these pro-choicers are saying. It's going to say
Google AI data dictated by the country that you are within, or do Google AI dictate the country which another person is in? Because that's a good question. That's a really good one. Is it actually dictated by the country that you are within?
That could be true, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't sound like you're in the US, so if you want to do a little experiment for me and look up what I just said and tell me what you can tell me. Because I'm kind of curious about that too. I don't know if it's going to be maybe not the exact same response, but maybe similar, you know? But typically, they look that up on Google, they look at the Google AI response, and they say ectopic pregnancy. They say severe preeclampsia. They say pulmonary hypertension, cancer, uterine sepsis, placenta previa. If you take the extra 10 seconds that it takes to look up the actual treatment for any of these conditions, you'll see that the treatment isn't actually abortion.
Search and destroy. Watch the objective. Set up security.
Moving this way.
You've won that round. Get ready for the next one. Defend the objectives. Round secure. On to the next. Switching sides. Search and destroy. Plant the charges and demolish the objective. You've secured the device.
I didn't know he was there.
We lost that round. Prepare for the next one. Search and destroy. Place the charge. Detonate the target. You got the bomb.
What? I couldn't even move.
We're planting at Bravo. You Device in place. Countdown started. One inbound. Get ready for the next one. Switching sides.
Oh.
Search and destroy.
Every now and then.
Watch the objectives. Set up security.
Movement here.
Round secure. On to the next. Search and destroy. Defend the objective.
Do it.
The round is lost. Focus on the next one. Switching sides. Search and destroy. Plant the charges and demolish the objectives. Friendly mosquito deployed. We lost that round. Prepare for the next one. Search and destroy. Place the charge. Detonate the target.
Got movement.
You've secured the device.
That's what
The round is lost. Focus on the next one. inside. Search and destroy. Watch the objectives. Set up security. Hostile unity in the area. Only you remain. Finish the mission. 1 minute remaining.
Oh, I didn't see
Lost that round. Prepare for the next one. Search and destroy. Defend the objectives. Enemy UAV active. You've won that round. Get ready for the next one.
Brilliant so far tonight, 17-year-old. This is brilliant.
Search and destroy. Watch the objectives. Set up security.
There was a woman that wanted to find out what it was actually like to live as a man, and what she reported should wake
all 8 Trunks transformations ranked from weakest to strongest. First, Super Saiyan. He achieved this form in the future timeline to fight the androids and protect what remained of his world. Second, Super Saiyan Grade 2, a bulked-up version of the Super Saiyan form that increases power and speed. Third, Super Saiyan Grade 3, an even more powerful due to its massive loss of speed. Fourth, Super Saiyan 2. Fifth is Enhanced Super Saiyan 2, exclusive to manga. In the manga, Trunks unlocked an enhanced version of Super Saiyan 2. Sixth, Super Saiyan Rage. Trunks used this form during his fight against Mw3 in Dragon Ball Super. Seventh, Super Saiyan 3, form seen in Dragon Ball Heroes. Finally, Super Saiyan God, another form from Dragon Ball Heroes. All 8 Trunks transformations.
Pop it and top it with Kraft Parmesan cheese. Pop it and...
Ben Shapiro went nuclear on Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson.
Exactly what I do. Gently correct the hanky.
by your definition.
It's almost like they hate other women.
Is medical issues already, and if they're taking all the steps to prevent pregnancy and the doctors have advised them that they cannot get pregnant, it will drastically impact their health. Would that fall underneath medically necessary?
So I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not super familiar with all the stuff that you just brought up. Still don't think any of this would, like, this is going to sound so stupid, right? But I don't think any of this would necessitate an abortion per se. I do think that, you know, some of them might necessitate like an early induction. But there's, even in situations like that, there's not going to be a reason to kill the fetus before removing it. That's just extra time.
Well, I'm talking about, like, there's, like, over a 80% chance as well that you are going to pass your condition on to your child. And from somebody who has a chronic pain condition, I'm in a lot of pain every single day. It's hard to move. And if I were, like, I'm taking all the measures to not get pregnant. If I were to become pregnant, would I want to inflict the pain and the mobility issues onto the fetus that I would be carrying? If I knew for, like, weeks, would I morally be able to say, okay, morally be okay with knowing that you have health conditions that you will pass on to your child?
Almost running low.
Yes, so a couple of things here. We're talking about the necessity at the moment, and so we don't save someone's life by killing them, right? Second, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna entertain the eugenics argument.
Also,
This is so laggy.
Actually, so your only definition for, like, medically necessary is to preserve the life of an individual. Like, it has nothing to do with quality of life, but there's plenty of procedures and things that are actually medically necessary that have nothing to do with actually saving their life, but everything to do with preserving their quality of life.
Well, sure. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. As far as the argument that I'm actually making, it's just preserving life. It has nothing to do with quality of life. I'm saying that it's never going to be the case where in order to save your life, you must have abortion.
I mean, I guess with the CDC definition, you can get away with saying that 100% of the time, just because they define it in a way where you can't even argue that, like,
Why is it lagging?
abortion, even though some people view it as such, especially in, like, hospitals and stuff. Sometimes things aren't, like medical coding messes with everything. If you're saying that's not abortion, but medically coding speaking, it is coded as abortion. It leads to problems for people who need care for miscarriages.
Yeah, it's not.
Just to clarify, right? Well, there's a few points to bring up here. First, like the medical coding, right? The miscarriage itself is labeled as a spontaneous abortion. The treatment for it, however, is not. So,
the DNC, which is widely accepted as an abortion procedure?
Well, DNC, early induction, natural birth, if you're far enough along, none of those would be considered abortion, at least not under the CDC definition. And even in, like, medical doctors, pediatric discharge papers, they don't say you got treated with abortion, they say you got treated with a DNC or blah, blah, blah. The other thing is
that someone has DNC to remove a viable fetus, they wouldn't consider that an abortion, or it would be.
They wouldn't do a DNC on a living fetus.
I mean, they could do injection stuff.
They sure could, yeah. They would do the lethal injection and then do the DNC on the dead fetus. Right? They don't do DNCs when there's a literal.
Part of the abortion procedure.
Yeah, no, that would fall under the treatment for a thing conception part. That is excluded from the CDC definition.
Okay, so if we're going to just strictly this, right? Like, I could forward all the medication needed to cause an abortion for somebody and give them to them. Since I'm not a licensed physician or a clinician doing this at the moment, that would not be considered an abortion.
Yeah, you're right. That's the one part of the CDC definition that I think is kind of elite. I don't see why it would need to specify that, you know, licensed practitioners or whatever, that it's gone under the jurisdiction of the law. I think
for the enemy.
They tell you exactly why it's negative the definition is because it says for surveillance purposes. That's the only you can't really keep track of abortions. I mean, they're not like there's someone where you can keep track of them.
Yeah, that is fair. I think it would be safe to kind of just drop that part of the definition off, though. At least in terms of, like, the argument that's being made here.
I mean, because it doesn't serve your argument specifically.
Well, I guess you could say that, but there's also just the fact that, like...
parts of your argument or your definition that you want to use from that exact same definition that would serve my argument better.
Well, there's also just the fact that, like, every state in the U.S. derives their definition of abortion from the CDC. They don't include that part of the definition either.
What is ACOG's definition of abortion?
That's a good question. It's effectively the same definition as the CDC. I'd have to check to get the exact wording.
No, they don't.
Think they include the licensed practitioner part at the beginning. But I guarantee you the same point still comes across. It still is going to involve the termination of a pregnancy that's in the uterus that involves killing the fetus.
Took a shot.
Hello?
Yeah, like voiceless in the comments, I do imagine that it would be a little yeah, you can.
Hi, sorry. In the middle of a thought. I'm so sorry. I was just checking if my mic was
Amazing. You can check whether your mic is working when people aren't in the middle of their sentences.
Are you being sassy, Alfred?
Just being rude. Goodbye. Yo, what's up, Mega?
ACOG's definition, but they just basically have a bunch of stuff like what not to use for their definitions.
That's right. ACOG, I'm gonna be real, like, they are kind of like the standard of medicine for a lot of, well, obviously pregnancy-related stuff, but they contradict themselves. So, if you look up if it's medically necessary to have an abortion for preeclampsia, one of the first pages you see is from ACOG, where they say that it is necessary to keep abortion because of things like preeclampsia. But then if you go on their website and find the part where they explain how preeclampsia is treated, they don't mention abortion anywhere. So they say we need abortions because of preeclampsia, but then in another place they're saying, well, preeclampsia has nothing to do with abortions.
Well, I mean, a lot of times, though, with medical documents, they'll just say, like, best case scenario, with these medications, we do XYZ. Just like a lot of other medications, you can manage it with medication. Ultimately, you might need, like, a toe amputated or something, but they're always going to list that as, like, the first option.
Fair enough, but if they truly believe that abortions are necessary because of preeclampsia, they include abortions somewhere in their preeclampsia.
That's fair. I think that they just...
I'm not the enemy
people in healthcare fear that if their laws start doing this, it's going to make it more difficult for people who genuinely do need that. Those included, like, AKA elective induction at like 37 weeks is what they recommend. But I think taking that completely off the table and putting laws around that not only endangers patients, but also makes physicians and hospitals more hesitant to treat them with appropriate care because they are fearing their license because they can lose it if they provide an abortion. The government doesn't even necessary, even though the government has no knowledge of what actually happens in pregnancy and management of pregnancy.
Just to make it like we'll use Florida, for example, because that's the one that's recently brought to my attention that they actually don't word it even close to how the CDC words it, but the same points still. If we look at Florida's definition for abortion, I actually have a screenshot it. I thought I took a screenshot. Nope. Okay. Either way, they word it differently, but it still carries the points of needs to end the pregnancy, it needs to be an intra-uterine pregnancy, or no, actually that's the thing they don't specify. They specify that it needs to end the pregnancy and it needs to kill the fetus.
So, like, management of ectopic pregnancy would be considered abortion in their process?
Specifically using methotrexate. Well, the laparoscopic surgery.
How they laparoscopic surgery?
apologies in that case.
Because they specify it has to kill the fetus, right? Laparoscopic surgery doesn't kill the fetus. The results stay alive. It just dies shortly after.
I mean, theoretically, I mean, I don't know the stats on that necessarily, but I guess it could. Typically, I don't feel like that would be the case. But also, I view it as if they're going to come out and they're going to die. Like, I don't view that really any differently than doing a lethal abortion.
The reason there's no specified, right? It might seem like super semantic, like super training. I'm specifying this because you're talking about, like, well, these laws would be dangerous for religious, right? But these laws say that you can't have any life-saving care. They say, yeah, you can get your ectopic pregnancy treated. Just methotrexate in Florida, right?
Which is crazy because the ectopic surgery is a lot worse than actually treating it with methotrexate.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's a really surgical procedure. They don't use methotrexate past 5,000 HCG. They don't use it unless there's like a loophole, right? So like you need to catch it early, and then like for along, it is great to use methotrexate because then you're just going to have to take products that you're going to be stuck in a procedure anyway. Start here, doing it in like 4 or 5 weeks, like you're
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was going to get at. The whole point of methotrexate for laparoscopic surgery is if you do it early enough, then the body reabsorbs the fetus to remove any tissue. I mean, let's be honest, who's really catching an ectopic pregnancy after 5 or 6 weeks gestation?
I mean, people actually, it's a lot of pain when you have people this, like, suicide or whatever, when you have that growing in your fallopian tube, that is only like less than a centimeter wide, it is probably
Point relocated.
Yeah, like,
yeah, during first trimester, it was only between 6 and 8 weeks. Let's see when HCG is about yeah, about 6 weeks. Say again.
You just said most you won't find out at 6 to 8.
6 to 8, yeah, but 5 to 6. 6 being the tail end of the time that you can do it with methotrexate, and then 6 to 8 being when they catch it. And you would be able to use it. Also, I mean, if they're going based solely on pain, I guess that's what they find it most often, but if there's periods, like during periods leading up to that, and their periods cease, then they would probably put it on you.
I mean, sure.
How is it laggy?
Yes.
You say abortion procedure or something takes like 2 days. Are you referring to the medication?
So, yeah, that's actually really good. Thank you for bringing that up. So when we talk the only 3 treatments that fall under the CDC definition of abortion, as well as most states' laws. These would be the abortion pill, which detaches the fetus from the uterine lining, causes it to starve of nutrients over the course of 1 to 3 days. Then on the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th day, I'll give you a second pill to induce labor. So that one is a 2 to 4 day process. There's also
doing that for 20 weeks, which is I was referring to a D&E because that's the typical treatment that they do after 20 weeks.
Just going over all of the things that fall under the CDC definition of abortion, just so you know what we're talking about. The second one is going to be an injection of either digoxin or potassium chloride into the heart or brain of the fetus. This causes it to have a heart attack over the course of like a day, and then on the 2nd day, once it's confirmed it passed away, they'll do a DNC to the process. And then D&Es, these are known as dilation and evacuation, or late-term abortion. This is where they dilate the cervix over the course of like 2 days, and then on the 3rd day they'll go in with Sofra clamps and tear the fetus apart limb from limb, push its skull and remove it. Definition of what's generally going to be like against the law in states with more strict abortion laws, those 3 procedures are never going to be medically necessary.
Okay. So then can I give an example of something that would not fall under abortion, under your view, but you're still going to view incorrectly? I'd like to give you an explanation as to why you prefer that.
Yeah, sure.
So let's say that someone has 14 weeks. Okay. They get an elective induction because they no longer want to be pregnant. They know the fetus is going to pass away shortly after it's born because they're no longer pregnant.
We're planting at Alpha.
In your view.
Yeah, I would say no.
It's not an abortion.
You're right. It's not technically an abortion.
Hi guys.
I'm not only against abortions. Obviously, like that is the main thing I'm fighting against. But I'm also against rape. I'm also against slavery. I'm also against, mass deforestation. I'm against.
Okay, fantastic. Can I
Hey guys, we're like in the middle of a thought right now. Can you let us finish this really quick? Okay, so my point with that, though, is that the intrauterine termination of the fetus does not go perfectly then.
On to the next.
You're right. I think it's wrong to kill a human being, regardless of...
So if we take out that part of the definition of abortion, where it's resulting in intrauterine demise of the fetus, right, then miscarriage management, I mean, I guess not, because they've already passed at that point. But anyway, I'm just saying that part of your statement would be irrelevant.
But that would be fine, I think, though, because then he can, give the distinction between lethal and non-lethal abortive practices if we're just going to go under the definition of, just termination of a pregnancy definition, because I find it problematic, which
it is problematic.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, I just me personally, but even then, I don't think it's an issue because they're defining a lethal abortion. And then we could still say, well, miscarriage care, ectopic treatment, older pregnancies, all of that stuff would be under non-lethal abortive care. And there would be no reason for us to be against those things since a termination of a fetus or an embryo is not happening in those things. Typically, they're already passed away. So.
What happened to your body, your Smith?
Just to clarify, Lexi, the CDC definition would provide that. That's more of like a general, kind of catch-all for the movement. Obviously, we've already established there's
definition just because it states explicitly that it's for purposes of surveillance. So it doesn't really include any way or everything that's encompassed within abortion care. That's why I have a problem with it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Amy, can I get your age, please?
Hi, I'm 37.
And are you pro-life or pro-choice?
I am pro-choice.
Okay, do you have any questions you wanted to ask?
Well, I don't have any questions I have. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a kind of an overview of, in Ireland, you guys know that we are a very Catholic country here. And as such, we've been behind the times on women's rights and everybody's rights, basically, for a very long time. And we only...
We can't hear you when you go out, Leah. Just so you know.
Oh, sorry. So we only got abortion rights basically in, I think it was 2018, maybe 2019 completely, right? Which is insane when you think about it, because there was a case in 2013 by about a woman named Savita. Hang on, let me get her because I want to do her justice. So her name was Savita Halapanavara, and she was, I think, 14, 17 weeks pregnant, but she was basically she was a dentist, and her partner was another medical professional or whatever, and her pregnancy was going to kill her.
Yeah, she was miscarrying.
Yeah, she was active. Yeah, she was actively miscarrying, and all the doctors told her, nope, you cannot have this abortion, and it killed her. Unfortunately.
Malpractice.
No. You know what? It was not malpractice because the laws at the time in the country deemed it non-malpractice.
Amy, miscarriage treatment is not an abortion.
No,
Like, I don't know if you saw me like tab out. You saw me go away for a minute. I was looking up what's defined as an abortion in Ireland, and miscarriages are not defined as abortions in Ireland.
No, what was happening to her?
I did want to ask you. You said it's a right, and I looked that up as well. It did say, at least in the Google AI overview, that in 2018, like you said, Ireland established abortion as a right for some healthcare act. The issue is, if you do want to go get an abortion, do you have to pay money for it, or do you have to get it covered by insurance, or can you just walk into an abortion clinic or hospital or wherever they do that and say, I want an abortion, and they give it to you for free?
So what happens over here, unfortunately, still is they question your motives because we'll say if you.
That. Do you have to pay money for it or no?
No, we don't have to pay money for it.
And you don't need insurance to cover it?
No, you don't need insurance. But what can happen is if you need a medical abortion or a surgical abortion, it depends on the. Okay, they will only abort until a certain amount of time, and you can see that from what you've googled, yeah.
Yeah, it's like something like 12 weeks or so.
12 or 14 weeks, something along those lines. But what happens to us here is we're still demonized for even wanting it, because if you go to a doctor and say, I've fallen pregnant, I choose not to have this baby, abortion is legal now in our country, they will make you leave for 3 days to think about it. And they go, no, go away. You're clearly, you're clearly hysterical. Go away and think about it, and then come back to us. Like, that's madness. If a man walked into a clinic and said, I need this done now, they would do it.
No.
Because it's a Catholic country and they view it as murder, that's why.
It's not, but this is the thing.
Real quick.
We lost that round. Prepare for the next one.
You guys take over for like 10 or 15 minutes. I'm gonna go prepare for the
Yeah, I'm gonna need some coin though. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Search and destroy.
I'll be back. I'm still gonna be listening, so you guys know, but
141. Plant a charge on the target and level
Be
it.
careful and drive safe. Drive safe.
Thank you.
So I do think, like you're saying, oh, they make you think of 3 days. Like if you're on like Medicaid, you have to sit in literature for a month. No, I'm sorry, that's like sterilization. But in some states in the U.S., you can't even get it there. They don't say, "Oh, think about it, come back to us later."
I know.
Right? You cannot get that.
That's not true.
That
You
doesn't
can
make
still
you
get
so
the abortion
sad.
in all 50 states. It's legal in all 50 states. Now,
Yeah, but that
granted,
doesn't make you so sad.
well, granted,
When, because I have a friend who had to go across state lines to get one because they refused.
yes. So, well, we actually had an incident in New York City where there was a doctor who was shipping out, medicated abortions to the state of Texas, where it's illegal up until 6 weeks. But she actually got in trouble for that. But the mother, if she chooses to have an abortion, she can go on any website, including ACOG, because they give resources for that.
Yeah.
And she can get abortion pills shipped directly to her house, even if she's in a state where it's illegal. Now, if she gets caught in a state where it's illegal, then that's where she's going to have legal issues, obviously.
Right.
But as far as shipping pills and getting them, she can still do that and have the abortion. Correct?
Yes, I'm wrong though. The medications don't work past a certain gestational age. It's like a life.
Yes, no, I think
Yes,
you're correct. Yeah. So
but to get a certain abortion, you have to travel. You have to travel over states. But I'm saying the majority of abortions are already done by, the medication. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's per Planned Parenthood. There are statistics
correct.
as well
Yeah,
as
correct, yeah.
the CDC, NIH, ACOG, all of these different, resources that we look to. They can confirm that. So
Well, I think the vast majority occur before 12 weeks gestation.
For surgical abortion, a lot of people don't know that and do the medicated abortion because it is easier. So what I'm saying is that that's still legal in all states. You can still get the medicated abortion pill.
Can I just tell you my experience, okay? As someone who has an abortion. Okay? I'm in Ireland back in 2000 and what year was it? 2009. When abortion was illegal here in my country, in Ireland. I found myself pregnant to somebody who was incredibly abusive. I was in college at the time, you know, I'm 37 now, but I was 19 at the time. And I was like, I was in a panic. I rang my mother and I was like, I cannot be tied to this abusive person for the rest of my life. And it was early days, I think I was maybe 12 weeks possibly, and I didn't know I was pregnant because I had had a period in the interim, okay? And this is, if this is too much information, guys, you can stop me, no problem.
Well, I don't know if the host has anecdotes, to be honest. Okay. I'm not really sure.
I can stop it if you think that's...
I mean, you can choose to continue, but just know that I'm not going to be... You have to understand that you're putting your private information online. Was that okay?
I'm done driving for a moment, just to clarify. I allow anecdotes specifically if you're just explaining why you feel certain. I do not allow anecdotes as evidence.
Okay, that's all I'm doing. It's just how it's why the way I feel about it. Yeah, okay. So, and at the time, in 2009, 2010, I happened to fly to the UK to access abortion. And that was traumatic as a 19-year-old. The fact that I was essentially a criminal in my own country. So I had to fly to the UK to access this healthcare, and it had to be a surgical abortion because it was just gone like maybe 1 week over the medical, you know, whatever. But like, you know, and then I came back to Ireland, and there was no aftercare, there was no doctor that I called, like, oh no, we can send you to this clinic for therapy, or there's that, whatever. Like, there was none of that.
That's secure. On to the next.
I know, yes, we have this 3-day waiting period to decide if you want it or not, but like, now, in a respect, not a little bit, that you don't have to fly elsewhere and feel like a criminal.
I'm just confused though. You said that you were in an abusive relationship. You got pregnant, and you needed to get away from that relationship. So you got away from that relationship and killed your child in the process. I don't understand here. If you got away from the relationship and away from the abuser, why in the world would you harm an innocent party in this if you already got away from the situation?
Because it was an embryo, and if I had kept that child alive, that abusive person would still be in my life.
You said it was 12 to 13 weeks. Wouldn't that be a fetus at that point? It has to be.
Yes, it would. Yes, at that stage, 12.
Yeah, scientifically.
12 weeks. Yeah, it is a fetus at 12 weeks.
Yeah, it has everything there.
Okay, well, would you rather me still getting my ass beat every day?
You got away from the relationship, ma'am. You flew to a whole different other country.
Wait a minute, you...
And then you came back to the same country where you were getting abused.
To access abortion. I had to leave the country to access abortion.
Okay, but you still got away from the relationship, did you? Did you go back to Ireland after you were in the UK?
Yes,
and get back into the relationship?
I came back to Ireland. I was innocent. I didn't know any better. I went back into the apartment where we both lived together, and the night after I came back, he beat the shit out of me.
So you went back to him. Why?
The round is lost. Focus on the
had
next
no
one.
option, but you realized, why didn't you run away?
Right, you realize that sometimes people don't have options, right?
Everyone has an option. I don't know what you're talking about. I had no risk your life to get away from a person that is harming you or trying to kill you.
I had nowhere to go.
I'm pretty sure you could. I mean, I don't know your situation, but I'm pretty sure you could have found somewhere to go. It's not always nowhere. There is somewhere.
Have you ever been 19 and afraid?
I've been 16 and afraid. I've been 17 and afraid. I've been afraid. And when I'm afraid, if I were to be pregnant in an abusive relationship, I would have. But over this person, that's easy to do. That's easy to say when you have an keep my child. Yes, I don't care if they when you have an it's the logical thing to say. No, but I don't understand why women think logic I understand why women have the mentality of staying in a relationship where people are abusing them.
Wait, how do you know she hasn't gone through this? How do you know she hasn't gone through this herself?
I never said she didn't, but what I'm saying is that she's victim blaming right now.
I'm not. Yes, you are. No, actually, I don't have victim blaming. I've been through. I'm not victim blaming because you have no idea.
Why didn't you leave? Why didn't you
Why asking the questions? Is that not appropriate? Because this is a conversation. You shouldn't have shared your personal story. I was afraid to ask questions.
Okay, big pause. Hold on.
Okay.
Big pause. It's crazy that I have to say this every time I go live. Amy, look, I get what you're saying. Jelly, I get what you're saying. Okay. Amy, when she's like in the middle of a sentence, could you maybe just wait till she's finished her sentence to respond? And obviously vice versa, Jelly, if she's in the middle of a sentence, let's wait till she finishes her sentence.
Apologies. Yeah, apologies as well.
Thank you.
I do think that what you're saying comes across as extremely insensitive to people's like situations that you fully understand. Like there's hella stats on domestic violence, right? And if it was just as easy as just leave, right? Then those stats would exist. I think it's important to recognize that something that's true for you or people you know isn't true for every single person in this world who's gone through domestic violence. Not everyone can just up and leave.
No, I understand that, but you can. That's what you're mistaken. They have this thing in their head saying that you can't get out of this because you need this person for some reason. Even though this person is actively harming you, you're trying to convince yourself that you can't leave the situation when you dang well can. And it's terrible. It's a terrible situation, and I'm staying positive. I feel for you guys, and I feel for the men that go through this as well. It's a terrible thing all around. What I'm saying is that she got away, and then she went back. And this is my point. I'm not trying to fix something here. I'm just saying she said she got pregnant, and she was in an abusive relationship. She decided she wanted to get an abortion because she didn't want to be tied to this abuser, and she needed to get away, so she got away. Okay? I don't understand. Even when she returned back to Ireland, she didn't have to go back. But she chose to. And I'm not trying to be, that's just a fact that you're presenting to me.
My darling, I had nowhere else to go at the time. Okay? I was 19. I had nowhere else to go. And this person was manipulative, mentally manipulative. He convinced me that, you know, I was a baby. I was 19. I didn't know. I didn't know what that was. Yeah, sure.
Sam, grasp of the situation because it did take minutes and a moment to get the investigation, but
that's okay.
What's going on? Are your parents still alive? Either of them?
Yeah, both my parents are still alive, but like I moved cities. You know, I wanted to, you know, kids wanted as everyone does, to appear independent and do your own thing. You know, we all do with our kids.
Yeah, I do apologize. I'm not looking for like crazy long explanations.
No,
yes, did your
set up a perimeter around it. Do not let them reach it.
Like, I was surprised.
Yeah, no, so there are 4 provinces, Ireland. There's Leinster, Connaught, Munster, and Ulster, but the law in general is all over the country. Northern Ireland, which is quite English stuff.
So I just had 2 other questions. In your province, or I guess more specifically in your city that you're living in, do you guys have a police station?
Yes, they do. Funny.
Last question. Okay, do you have a hospital?
Yeah. When you go there, they go saying these things, they tell you you're lying.
Maybe like specifically like the police station part, but what I'm hearing is you're telling us over and over and over again you had nowhere else to go. But what I'm hearing from the questions I just asked you is you had parents to go to, you had a police station you could go to, you had a hospital you could go to, you had several places that you could have gone aside from back to your research.
Mr. Vick was going to recognize that she was 19 years old. Also,
Search and destroy.
24.
You're 24, okay.
Blast the target. No
Like,
mistake.
imagine you know, you're like, you've left for school, you've left for college, and your family life and all the rest of it, and you want your family to be like super proud of you, and you go off and you're studying and stuff. Like, imagine the embarrassment of telling them you've met somebody who's kicking the shit out of you. And you've made wrong choices. Yeah, but you've made wrong choices, and because that's what that person who's doing that makes you believe. He made me believe I was worthless and that I made wrong choices. It wasn't true. I was just a victim of domestic violence. But he made me so insecure that I couldn't tell my family because he made me think that it was embarrassing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Right? Not to go into too much detail, but I've been in similar situations. I can't say I've been in the exact same situation you've been in, but I've been in situations that are like that. And regardless of how I felt, regardless of how that person made me feel, and I'm not saying this is the case for everyone, right? But I've always been able to, say, okay, this is bad, right? I want to stay with this person, you know? Sometimes they make me feel happy, you know? Sometimes they make me feel like shit, you know? Other times they're...
I knew it was horrendous. Believe me, I knew it was horrendous.
What I'm trying to get at here, even when it was as bad as it could possibly be, I still understood that I had somewhere else to go. Because regardless of what situation I could possibly be in, unless I'm literally being kept in someone's basement, tied up against my wall, something like that, I have somewhere to go. I can walk out the door because I have this thing called free will.
I get that, but as a man, that's your privilege.
The same thing applies to women.
That's your privilege. That is your privilege.
Amy. Look, as simply and as bluntly as I can, you might end up homeless, right? It could be, whatever. You might end up homeless, you might be, looking whatever. You have breaking legs, I'm assuming. You have this thing called free will. Regardless of the situation you're in, again, unless you're tied up in a basement, and you literally can't leave, you have the option to walk away.
You've never been mentally and physically abused by a male.
Really? You want to make that claim?
Dude, why do you keep making this assertion? Why do you keep making this assertion? Have you been inside people's heads?
Let's go ahead.
That's my question. No, you asked me yes or no question.